What if the coin lying in your pocket right now could secretly be worth a life-changing fortune? From the 1983, 1989, 1996 D, 1997 D to 1998 D Lincoln Memorial pennies, hidden stories of rare mint errors and unbelievable legends have shocked collectors worldwide. Some claim these ordinary-looking coins could turn into millions, sparking a treasure hunt in everyday change. Before you spend another penny, you need to know the truth behind these mysterious coins that could change everything overnight. First up, in the world of coin collecting, few stories create as much excitement as the mysterious reputation surrounding the Lincoln Memorial 1-cent coin, especially those associated with the early 1980s era. Among them, the 1983 cent has developed a strange kind of legend in collector discussions, where ordinary pocket change is sometimes imagined as hidden treasure worth life-changing money. This idea has spread across generations, creating a belief that a simple copper-looking penny might secretly hold unimaginable value. While most people overlook it completely, collectors constantly examine it with a magnifying glass, hoping to discover something extraordinary hiding in plain sight. The Lincoln Memorial cent was originally introduced in 1959, replacing the wheat reverse design, and continuing the legacy of Abraham Lincoln on the front side. By 1983, the United States Mint was producing these coins in massive quantities, and most of them were made from copper-coated zinc due to rising metal costs. At first glance, they appear completely ordinary, designed for everyday transactions and not for wealth accumulation. However, in the world of numismatics, even the most common coin can become significant when rare, minting mistakes or unusual conditions appear. What makes the 1983 cent especially interesting is not the standard coin itself, but the rare possibility of errors during production. Some coins from this era were struck with unusual weight variations, misprints, or striking anomalies that escaped the minting process unnoticed. These imperfections, though extremely rare, are what collectors search for obsessively. A small difference in weight or a slight minting flaw can sometimes transform a normal-looking penny into a highly sought-after collectible, depending on its condition and authenticity. Over time, stories have circulated about certain rare 1983 pennies being sold for impressive amounts in private collections or auctions. These stories often grow with excitement, sometimes exaggerating the actual market reality. In truth, while error coins can reach valuable prices among serious collectors, the idea that a regular 1983 penny is worth millions is more myth than reality. Still, the possibility of discovering something unusual keeps the curiosity alive, making every coin jar and pocket change a potential source of excitement. Collectors often evaluate these coins based on condition, mint marks, and physical characteristics that might indicate rarity. Coins in uncirculated condition, especially those that have never been damaged or heavily used, naturally hold more value. The difference between an ordinary penny and a collectible one can sometimes come down to microscopic details that only trained eyes can detect. This is what makes coin collecting both challenging and thrilling at the same time. The emotional appeal of these coins also plays a big role in their popularity. People are fascinated by the idea that something so small and common could potentially change their financial situation overnight. This dream fuels countless searches through old jars, drawers, and inherited collections. Even though the chances of finding an extremely rare specimen are very low, the possibility itself is enough to keep interest alive across the world of collectors. In reality, most 1983 Lincoln Memorial cents are worth only their face value unless they display a clear and verified minting error or exceptional preservation quality. Professional grading services are usually required to confirm any significant value, as authentication plays a major role in determining whether a coin is truly rare or just ordinary. Without proper verification, claims of extreme value often remain unproven or speculative. Despite this, the coin continues to hold a legendary status in online discussions and collector communities. It represents the hope that hidden treasures might still exist in everyday life, waiting to be discovered by someone observant enough to notice them. This emotional connection is often more powerful than the actual monetary value, turning a simple penny into a symbol of possibility and curiosity. In the end, the 1983 Lincoln Memorial Cent remains an important piece of American coin history, not because it guarantees wealth, but because it keeps the imagination of collectors alive. It teaches that value is not always obvious at first glance, and sometimes the most ordinary objects carry stories far more valuable than money itself. Second up, there is a lot of excitement online about the Lincoln Memorial 1-cent coins, especially when people start talking about specific years like 1989. Many viral stories claim that a simple penny from this year could secretly turn someone into a millionaire overnight. But the real story is more interesting when we focus on history, design, and the rare collecting side instead of unrealistic promises. The 1989 cent is not a magical ticket to instant wealth, but it is still part of a fascinating chapter in American coin production. The Lincoln Memorial Cent series began in 1959, continuing the long tradition of honoring Abraham Lincoln on the front of the coin. By 1989, the United States Mint was producing these pennies in huge quantities using a copper-plated zinc composition. These coins were made for everyday use, meaning billions of them entered circulation with no intention of rarity or investment value. Most of them are still very common today, found in old jars, wallets, and bankrolls across the country. However, coin collectors are not only interested in regular coins, they are always searching for something unusual. In rare cases, coins can come out of the mint with small mistakes such as misaligned strikes, double impressions, or unusual surface characteristics. These are called mint errors, and they are what sometimes create value beyond face value. But even in such cases, not every error leads to extreme prices, especially not in the range of millions as often exaggerated online. The 1989 penny itself does not have any widely recognized version that is considered worth extraordinary wealth in normal collecting markets. What can create interest is condition. A coin that has never been used, still shining as if freshly minted, is called uncirculated or mint state. Such coins are more attractive to collectors, but even then their value remains within modest ranges unless combined with a very rare and verified minting mistake. A lot of confusion comes from social media videos that mix truth with exaggeration. People often show ordinary coins and claim they are worth unbelievable amounts without proper proof or grading. In real numismatics, serious value is never decided by appearance alone or internet rumors. It is determined by professional grading, authentication, and real auction records. Without those steps, claims of life-changing money are usually just speculation. Still, the emotional appeal of these coins is powerful. The idea that a tiny copper-colored penny might hide a secret error or rare feature makes people look at their spare change differently. It turns something ordinary into something full of mystery. That sense of curiosity is one of the main reasons coin collecting remains popular, even for coins that are technically common. From a historical point of view, the 1989 Lincoln cent represents a period of mass production and economic efficiency in the United States Mint. It was not designed as a collector's item, but as a practical piece of currency. Yet, over time, even mass-produced objects can become interesting simply because they are part of history. Every coin carries the story of the year it was made and the millions of hands it may have passed through. The truth is, if someone finds a 1989 penny today, it is almost always worth its face value unless it has a clearly verified and extremely unusual minting error. Dreams of becoming instantly wealthy from it are not realistic, but learning about it can still be rewarding. Understanding how coins are made and how rarity works is far more valuable than believing in internet myths. In the end, the 1989 Lincoln Memorial Cent is not a hidden treasure that guarantees riches, but it is still a small piece of American history that connects everyday life with the world of collecting. Its real value lies not in fantasy million-dollar claims, but in the story it represents and the curiosity it continues to inspire in people who take a closer look at what others might simply ignore. Third up, the 1997 D. Lincoln Memorial 1-cent coin often gets pulled into online stories that promise unbelievable wealth. But the real truth behind it is far more grounded and far more interesting when understood properly. This coin belongs to a massive production era of the United States Mint, where billions of pennies were struck for everyday circulation. Most of them were never meant to be rare, and almost all entered circulation as simple change used for daily transactions across America. The Lincoln Cent series itself began in 1909 and later evolved into the memorial reverse design in 1959, continuing for decades. By the time 1997 arrived, the Denver Mint was producing huge quantities of pennies marked with the D-Mint mark. These coins were made quickly, efficiently, and in extremely large numbers, meaning scarcity was never part of their original purpose. That is why most 1997 D-cents today remain extremely common in circulation. What makes people curious is the idea that even common coins might hide something special. In coin collecting, rarity is not always about the year alone. It is about mistakes, unusual strikes, or extreme preservation. Some coins become valuable because of minting errors where something went wrong during production. But these cases are rare, and they do not apply to the normal version of the 1997 D-cent that most people find. There is a lot of exaggeration online claiming that ordinary pennies from modern years like 1997 D are worth millions of dollars. In reality, there is no verified record of a standard 1997 D Lincoln Cent selling for anything close to that amount. Serious collectors and professional grading services base value on verified rarity condition and historical demand, not viral internet claims or rumors spread without evidence. However, condition still plays an important role in how any coin is valued. A 1997 D penny that has never been used, showing sharp details and original mint luster, is considered uncirculated. Such coins can be more attractive to collectors than heavily worn ones, but even in top condition, their value usually remains very modest. The jump from common coin to high-value collectible requires something truly exceptional beyond normal preservation. Sometimes collectors also look for subtle minting anomalies such as off-center strikes or unusual surface features. These error coins can be more interesting, but even then, most modern penny errors do not reach extreme prices. The excitement often comes more from discovery than from actual financial transformation. People enjoy searching because it feels like finding hidden treasure in everyday life. The 1997 D penny also represents an important part of late 20th century U.S. coin production. During this time, the Mint was using more cost-efficient materials and high-speed manufacturing techniques. These changes made coins more uniform and less prone to dramatic variations, which also reduced the chances of rare collectible errors compared to earlier decades. Many stories online turn simple coins into fantasy-level treasures, suggesting they could make someone instantly wealthy. These narratives spread quickly because they are exciting, but they do not reflect how numismatics actually works. Real coin value is carefully studied, documented, and verified over time through auctions and expert evaluation, not instant internet claims. Still, the fascination remains strong because coins are physical pieces of history that people can hold in their hands. Even a common penny connects to a specific year, a specific mint, and a specific moment in time. That sense of connection is what keeps collectors interested, even when the monetary value is small. The truth about the 1997 D Lincoln Cent is that it is a very common coin, not a hidden millionaire maker. But understanding why it is common teaches more about money, production, and rarity than any viral myth ever could. Value in coin collecting is built on knowledge, patience, and verification, not hype. When people hear stories about ordinary coins becoming worth millions, it is usually a misunderstanding or exaggeration. Real million-dollar coins exist, but they come from extremely rare historical issues, major mint errors, or centuries-old origins, not modern mass-produced pennies like the 1997 D. Even though this coin is not a pathway to sudden wealth, it still plays a role in the larger story of American currency. Millions of people used it in everyday life, completely unaware that decades later it would be discussed in collector communities around the world. That everyday history gives it more cultural value than financial value. Coin collecting often blends reality with imagination, and that is part of its charm. People enjoy the possibility of discovery even when the odds are very low. The 1997 D penny fits perfectly into this idea. It is ordinary, yet always looked at with curiosity by those hoping to find something unusual. In the end, the real lesson of the 1997 D Lincoln Memorial Cent is not about becoming a billionaire overnight, but about understanding how value is created in the world of coins. Rarity, condition, and verified authenticity matter far more than viral stories. And sometimes the true value of a coin is not measured in dollars, but in the history and curiosity it continues to inspire. Fourth up, the 1998 D Lincoln Memorial 1-cent coin often appears in dramatic online stories that claim it could turn into a life-changing treasure, but the real story behind it is much more grounded in history, minting practices, and collector reality. This coin belongs to a modern production era where the United States Mint was producing massive quantities of pennies for everyday use, not for rarity or investment purposes. Most of these coins entered circulation quietly and are still commonly found in pocket change today. The Lincoln Memorial Cent design itself had already been in use for decades by 1998, honoring Abraham Lincoln on the front and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. The Denver Mint, marked by the D, struck billions of these coins during this period. Because production was so large and efficient, the vast majority of 1998 D cents were created to be identical in appearance and function, not as collectible rarities. This is why they remain widely available even today. What makes coins interesting to collectors is not just their year, but whether something unusual happened during production. In numismatics, true value often comes from rare mint errors or exceptional preservation. However, for the 1998 D cent, there are no widely recognized or verified varieties that place it anywhere near million-dollar value in standard collecting markets. Most claims of extreme worth online are based on misunderstanding or exaggeration, rather than documented auction results. The excitement around coins like this often comes from the idea that hidden treasure could exist in everyday objects. People enjoy imagining that a simple penny might secretly be worth a fortune. This emotional appeal is powerful, but in real coin collecting, value is carefully determined through grading, rarity verification, and historical demand, not viral internet claims or speculation. Condition does matter in coin collecting, and a 1998 D penny in perfect uncirculated condition can look far more impressive than a worn one. These coins, when freshly struck and never circulated, show sharp details and original mint luster. However, even in top condition, their value remains modest because they are still common coins produced in huge numbers. Collectors sometimes search for minting anomalies such as off-center strikes, die cracks, or unusual surface features. These error coins can be more interesting and occasionally carry higher value depending on rarity and demand. But even in such cases, modern pennies like the 1998 D rarely reach extreme price levels. The market for them is limited compared to older or historically significant coins. The 1998 D cent also represents a period of highly efficient coin manufacturing in the United States. By the late 1990s, the minting process had become extremely precise, reducing the likelihood of major errors and ensuring uniform production. This efficiency is one reason why modern pennies are generally not rare unless something highly unusual occurs. Many online claims suggesting that a 1998 D penny is worth millions are not supported by real auction records or professional grading results. In the real numismatic world, coins reach high values only when they are extremely rare, historically significant, or contain dramatic minting mistakes confirmed by experts. Without those factors, even uncirculated modern pennies remain common collectibles. Still, the fascination with these coins continues because they connect people to the idea of hidden opportunity. The thought that something so small could hold unexpected value makes people more observant of everyday money. Even if the financial outcome is not dramatic, the curiosity it creates is real and lasting. From a historical perspective, the 1998 D Lincoln Cent is simply part of a long-running series that reflects American currency evolution. It is not a rare artifact, but a mass-produced piece of everyday economic life. Its importance lies more in its role in circulation than in collectible rarity. The truth is that most 1998 D pennies are worth only their face value unless they show a verified and unusual mint error. Dreams of instant wealth from them are not realistic, but learning about how coins are made and evaluated can be far more valuable in the long run. Knowledge in numismatics often matters more than speculation. Coins like this also show how easily misinformation spreads online when people mix excitement with incomplete facts. A simple penny can quickly become the center of exaggerated stories about hidden riches. But real collectors always rely on evidence, grading systems, and auction history rather than rumors. Even though the 1998 D-cent is not a hidden fortune, it still plays a small role in the larger story of American coinage. Millions of people have used it in everyday life, and it continues to exist quietly in circulation. That everyday presence gives it historical relevance, even if it lacks monetary rarity. In the end, the 1998 D. Lincoln Memorial 1-cent coin is not a million-dollar secret waiting to be discovered, but it is still a small piece of modern monetary history. Its true value lies in understanding how modern coins are produced, how rarity is determined, and how easily ordinary objects can become part of big myths. Fifth up, the 1996 D. Lincoln Memorial 1-cent coin often gets pulled into dramatic internet stories that promise hidden fortunes and instant wealth. But the real story behind it is much more grounded in minting history and collector reality. This coin is part of the modern U.S. penny series, produced in massive quantities for everyday circulation, not as a rare collectible or investment piece. Most of them were released quietly into circulation and are still commonly found in change even today. The Lincoln Memorial cent design had already been in use for decades by 1996, showing Abraham Lincoln on the front and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. The Denver Mint, marked with the D, struck billions of pennies during this period. These coins were created with efficiency and uniformity in mind, meaning there was no intention of making them rare or valuable beyond their face value. What makes coins like this interesting is not their normal form, but the possibility of unusual minting variations. In the world of coin collecting, true value usually comes from rare errors, historical significance, or extreme preservation. However, for the 1996 D-cent, there are no widely confirmed varieties that place it anywhere near million-dollar territory in real numismatic markets. Many online claims suggest that ordinary modern pennies could secretly be worth life-changing money, but these ideas are usually based on misunderstanding or exaggeration. Real coin value is not decided by viral posts or assumptions. It is determined through expert grading, verified rarity, and documented auction history. Without those elements, a coin remains what it was intended to be, everyday currency. Condition does play an important role in collecting. A 1996 D penny that has never been circulated and still shows full original mint shine is considered uncirculated. Such coins can be more appealing to collectors than worn examples, but even in perfect condition, they generally do not reach high market values because they are extremely common and widely available. Sometimes collectors search for mint errors such as die cracks, off-center strikes, or unusual doubling. These rare mistakes can create interest, but even then, modern pennies like the 1996 D rarely achieve extreme prices. The reason is simple. The production quality during this era was very high, and major errors were uncommon compared to earlier decades. The 1996 D-cent belongs to a time when the U.S. Mint was producing coins at high speed and in enormous quantities. This industrial efficiency meant that most coins came out nearly identical, reducing the chances of rare variations that could dramatically increase value. As a result, most examples of this penny remain common circulation pieces. Despite this, stories about hidden million-dollar pennies continue to circulate online because they are exciting and easy to believe. The idea that a small coin in your pocket could change your life overnight is powerful, even if it is not supported by real auction data or professional grading results. This emotional appeal keeps interest alive, especially among new collectors. In reality, the 1996 D. Lincoln cent has no verified record of selling for anything close to extraordinary wealth in the standard coin market. Serious collectors rely on certified grading services and auction records to determine value, and these sources consistently show that modern pennies like this remain low value unless something extremely unusual is proven. Still, the fascination with these coins continues because they connect people to the idea of discovery. Even if the chances are small, the possibility of finding something unusual keeps people checking their change more carefully. That sense of curiosity is a big part of what makes coin collecting enjoyable. From a historical perspective, this penny represents everyday American life in the mid-1990s. It is not a rare artifact, but a mass-produced piece of currency used by millions of people. Its importance lies more in its role in circulation than in any extraordinary collectible value. The truth is simple. A normal 1996 delinquent cent is almost always worth only its face value, unless it has a verified and extremely rare minting error. Stories of instant millions are not supported by real-world numismatic evidence, even though they are widely shared online for entertainment. However, understanding coins like this teaches something important about how value is created. Rarity, demand, and historical significance matter far more than age alone or internet rumors. Without those factors, even older coins remain common. Even though it is not a hidden treasure, the 1996 D-cent still holds a place in the broader story of U.S. currency. It passed through countless hands, carried out daily transactions, and quietly supported everyday life. That ordinary role is its real historical significance. In the end, the 1996 D. Lincoln Memorial 1-cent coin is not a secret path to becoming a billionaire, but a reminder of how modern money works and how easily myths can form around it. Its true value lies in understanding reality rather than chasing exaggerated stories, and in appreciating the history it represents rather than expecting impossible wealth from it.